You read the title right. Apple killed my Gear S3, my Samsung Gear S3. Like, what is going on? My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, and anything creative. And today we're gonna talk about why I say Apple killed my Gear S3. Okay, as you know, I am a super big fan of Samsung's Gear S3. I think this is like one of the best, if not the best, wearable smart item you can have on your wrist. It looks the best, it functions the best, it is the best. Now, I recently, as you all know, made a switch from the Galaxy Note 8, which is Samsung device. I switched from the Galaxy Note 8 to the iPhone X. We won't even talk about why I did that. You know, I'm getting perspective on both platforms. Simple as that. Obviously, the Gear S3 is a Samsung device, an amazing device with amazing capabilities. You know what I mean? Samsung Pay, it works and looks great. I switched to the iPhone X and I use the app called Watchmaker, which I'm very enthusiastic about. If you don't know about Watchmaker, if you have a device, smart device, you definitely want to get Watchmaker because the custom-made watch faces for that by users are A1, some of the best. Rolex, Breitling, all of that. And they're good. They're not like whack. So you can get nice analog looking as well as those souped up digital, you know what I mean, battery level, such and such watch faces. So basically what I want to talk about is my interaction of pairing my Gear S3 with my Apple Watch and the use and the vibe of it. Now, this is all from perspective of having the Samsung Gear S3 on Android with a Samsung device, which fully unlocks the capabilities of this device. Super awesome, great experience. Now, with that being said, I'm still having a great experience with my Gear S3 on iOS, but it is very limited. And the reason why I'm saying Apple killed my Gear S3, this is unfair. Now, Apple has an ecosystem. We all know about that. And Apple is super big on security and letting other platforms and softwares within their system, and they limit what they can do within their system. Now, we have something on the Samsung Gear S3 that's amazing called Samsung Pay. Samsung Pay is rendered useless on an Apple device. Why, you ask? Because Apple wants you to use Apple Pay. Duh. They're not gonna allow the Gear S3 to come steal their Apple Pay users. Makes sense, but as well as annoying. Give the people a choice. If I want to use Samsung Pay or Apple Pay, Samsung Pay has a different technology and it is usable in a lot of places where wearables aren't usable, where Apple Pay isn't usable. So Samsung Pay is very convenient. I had it already set up on my Note 8 and on my Gear S3, which acts separately on its own. So if I left my smartphone device, I'm able to use Samsung Pay. You know what I mean? So think about those instances you might forget your wallet. Oh, I'm good. I got my wearable. Now that I'm on iOS, that is no longer. I don't have Samsung Pay. They take that away. And that's my thing with Apple and how controlling they are. They're that controlling spouse. They have reason for it and you can kind of understand, but still, it's still frustrating as all ever. And right now, I see them pushing me in a certain direction by doing this. Another thing, so all of those awesome watch faces you saw me with on Android, I gotta figure out how to get them on iOS. I haven't quite figured that out yet, so I'll talk about getting watch faces on the Gear S3 on iOS once I figure that out. Now, you can get the Gear ones and so forth. I still got a good watch face on here. Don't, I'm always gonna have a nice watch face on this thing. So iOS couldn't stop me from doing that. It's just, I would like to take the ones that I had from before and bring them over here. I think that might be an app thing, but it also has something to do with Apple and how they allow these apps to interact with their devices. They're very protective, which is good for your security. It kind of makes sense, but then it's also like frustrating. Another thing that Apple has done to limit my Gear S3 is replying to notifications, replying to text messages. Replying is just non-existent. I cannot reply. I'm already limited right there. I can't do the reply. Now, the replying on the Gear S3, as I said in the 5 things I hate about the Samsung Gear S3, it's not the best anyway. So I'm not really losing there. Honestly, typing on the Gear S3 isn't perfect. It's not where it needs to be. They need to get a swipe keyboard on there. But now that I'm on iOS, it doesn't matter because I can't reply. But I can see the notification. And honestly, wearables, the number one use for a wearable is to be able to see your notifications. So at least Apple didn't take that away from me. But the fact that I can't reply, and I'm pretty sure on an Apple Watch I can reply. This insinuates the whole thing of why I'm saying Apple killed my Gear S3. They're trying to restrict the experience of a Gear S3 on their device because they don't want their customers to go out and buy a Gear S3. They want their customers to buy the Apple Watch. And it makes sense for the ecosystem, but it's also constricting your choice, your freedom of choice. Like, what if I don't want an Apple Watch? What if I don't like the way an Apple Watch look? What if I love the way this Gear S3 look? I want to use my Gear S3. Now I'm able to use it. Don't get it twisted. The app works on there. I got a few cool little watch faces. I can see all my notifications, but it's not perfect. I really see what's going on. Apple wants me to get an Apple Watch. That's strictly what it is. They want you to stay within their ecosystem. And I'm sure vice versa, you can't, if you were trying to use Apple Watches on other platforms, I'm sure it's not as pleasant. And I don't even know if you can, but all of these companies, they try to build their ecosystem up and then they try to lock you in it. And that's the part I don't like about these companies. Samsung has an ecosystem too, don't get it twisted. Their Samsung watch interacts with Samsung devices with Samsung apps better than you trying to use a Google app or so forth. So all of them are guilty. I'm not just only pointing the finger at Apple right now, to be totally 100 and transparent, but to be honest, Apple killed my Gear S3. And when I say killed it, it's like it still functions, it still works, but they killed the experience that I had using my Gear S3 on Android and just totally stripped it down and restricted it to the experience they are allowing me to have with it. And I don't totally fully 100% agree with that. I debated because of this, and look, this is what they're doing. Have me debating getting an Apple Watch so I can have a wearable that's more functional. I'm gonna resist for as long as I can just to see how I like the experience. So far it's been fine. I'm able to get my notifications and so forth. And then I lost Samsung Pay, which I enjoyed and I thought was great. Now I got Apple Pay on the iPhone X set up, which is what they wanted me to do. And if I want it in a wearable, I'm obviously gonna have to get an Apple Watch. I do want broad perspective on platforms. So I wanna use Android Wear, Tizen, and then the only platform that I haven't used, well I did use, but for a very, very brief moment, is the Apple wearable platform. So maybe on their next wearable, if they're gonna drop one later on this year, if they're not, maybe I might pick up the last one they dropped for perspective and for review, and to be able to give you guys the truth on Android, Tizen, and iOS when it comes to wearables. But I'm a little down, I'm a little sad. Like my Gear S3 is dying a terrible death. It's in prison right now. Yo, free the Gear S3. Hashtag free the Gear S3. Go and hit Apple with that. Let's get the Gear S3 free. But I just want to share my thoughts. I'm gonna try not to make this too crazy long. I don't want to rant out too much, but you know, it is what it is, and that's how it is. You just getting a consumer's perspective. See, expanding to more platforms, I'm able to give you more perspective and more truth about platforms, and to also be able to warn you and to give you the straight up, real, honest review. My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, anything creative. Smash that like button. Smash that sub button. You know, we on a journey to blow up. Let's blow the channel up. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and support your boy. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I'm done. I'm out. Peace. Okay. I just want to tell you real quick about TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy.com/CJKnowsTECH. Now you know, if you're on the road of making a YouTube channel, or if you have a YouTube channel, if you don't know about TubeBuddy, which I'm pretty sure you do, but if you don't have it and it's not in your extensions, look, it's free to get in the beginning. Of course, they have paid options and so forth, and you can graduate to that. But I guarantee you, I recommend get the free version and see what you're missing out of. This is like an A1 tool. People do YouTube and they don't even think about the back end, about the keywords and searching and how to rank. You have to rank in the search in order to get seen. You gotta have a butter smooth thumbnail and all that that other good stuff too, which I'm gonna show you how to do in this Making YouTube series, but I highly recommend TubeBuddy.com/CJKnowsTECH. Yes, it helps me, it helps you too. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't push anything I don't believe in, I don't use. Now, I am a paid user. I don't have a free subscription. I paid for my TubeBuddy and I use my TubeBuddy and I love my TubeBuddy. That's why I want you to get TubeBuddy. That's it. I'm sorry, ranting. Bye.